Hi guys, sorry it's been so long since I filmed a haul video for you, but I have been hauling, I have been selling. My eBay store actually did really well last month. I did a store subscription last month and I just did it for 1 month to see how things would go, and I honestly don't feel like I sold that much more or even had the opportunity to list a whole lot more than what I normally would have, because generally on eBay they will give you free listings, like 200 free listings and then 100 free listings, and my free listings that they gave me, like the promotions, were 50, so it kind of evened out. You know, you got the entire month to list the same amount, but I feel like because I was paying for it, I was pushed obviously to put more things on there and worked harder to make sure that I had a lot of listings. But I don't know profit wise, I haven't ran the numbers yet because today's May 1st, but I don't know profit wise that I did that much better, especially having to pay for the store subscription. So I actually wasn't going to get the store subscription for the month of May, but I got on there today and it subscribed for me, so I didn't realize that it was like an auto thing. I figured if you were automatically enrolled then you would get the $5 discount for having a year. You know, I did 1 month. So anyway, now I'm in it for 2 months. We'll see what happens. I told my husband this morning I'm gonna sell $1,000 worth of stuff on eBay this month, so why not, right? Shoot for the stars. But I want to show you guys some stuff that I hauled recently. I actually went to Goodwill yesterday and I cleaned up on some shoes, and I cleaned the shoes up today. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I'm using to take those pesky Goodwill Sharpie marks off the bottom of the shoes. This first pair I got is a brand new pair of H&M size European 39, which is what, 8.5? A size 8. They're cork wedges. You can still see a bit of residue there. I could probably work a bit harder to clean this one up. Still has a sticker on the other side. I used an essential oil with citrus. The oil I used was actually an energizing oil that was mainly grapefruit, but if you have a lemon essential oil would really work well. It came right off there, really. I put it on and just scrubbed it back and forth with my finger and wiped it with a paper towel. Pretty minimal effort, and with the magic erasers even, I was scrubbing a lot. I use magic erasers on the bottom of shoes a lot though. So these were $3.99, $3.50. I think they were $3.50. These were on sale. I actually got these. They're Dolce Vita, which is the Target brand. I got these on sale yesterday for $1.50. So nothing to be mad at there, getting shoes for that cheap. I cleaned the bottom of these again with an essential oil. Let me show you what the bottoms look like. And I don't even remember which side had the price on. It was this one. This side had the price on, so it really came right off. Those will be listed in my store soon. I have, in keeping, another pair of silver heels. Here's the first pair. Here's the second pair. I feel like these are super on trend right now. These ones are Banana Republic. I paid $3.50 for them. And let me tell you, when I cannot get the price tag to come off completely, obviously it was on this one. You can even see where I scrubbed, and you could still see a faint little mark if you looked that said $3.50. Nobody wants to be wearing like designer shoes and see $3.50 on the bottom of them. So when I can't get the mark to come off completely, I actually take a Sharpie and make a few random marks to where that's really what you see now. If those weren't there, you would be able to see the $3.50. Either tie it in or mark over something. I've even made, if the Goodwill or thrift store mark is small enough, I'll just scribble over it and then scrub that off, and it'll just be a little faded dot or something. So that wasn't too bad. Like I say, $3.50, $3.99 on those. These are so beautiful. I wish these were my size. Look at these. They're Jessica Simpson. They have a scalloped edge, suede over leather. They're so beautiful, like a laser cut detail. These are so pretty. Look at the gold on the inside. Size 7 on these. I used, again, that same essential oil. These are like a soft leather sole bottom. And you can see it worked pretty well, again, cleaning these up. So the bottoms look pretty good now. These were $3.50. Let's see here. This pair is, again, Dolce Vita. They have this beautiful little detail on the inside. It looks like cherubs, like angels, kind of a China pattern in there. The silhouette on these is phenomenal. Again, I wish these were my size, but it's probably a good thing that they're not, because then I would be tempted to keep them. They have this pretty little leather brown detail on the back there and a really nice shape on the toe. So yeah, I feel like I did awesome on shoes yesterday. Got all 5 pairs of those for $3.50, $3.99, and $1.50. Okay, I looked at bags and they did have one that, well, of course she said it was Prada. It was $20, which is not bad, but when I opened it up, it just seemed so cheap inside. The outside was like a really thick, it was beautiful, it was blue, and it looked like the straps, like a woven strap, woven all over this bag. But the inside was so cheap, I'm telling you guys, it seemed off to me, and I thought for $20 or for risking my my eBay store, you know, trying to sell a counterfeit, it really wasn't worth it. So I need some advice on authenticating Prada because I've not done that a whole lot in the past. I feel like I'm pretty good with some of the brands, but I had to leave it behind because I wasn't sure. They had some Coach there that they wanted like $40, and it was like outdated and it was stained, and I was just so surprised if they thought that that Prada bag was real, that they wanted more for the Coach than for the Prada. But it just goes to show, because like you may say, I can't really source a lot of really great items because I live in a small town, but in the small town, people haven't heard of a lot of the big brands or don't appreciate the big designer brands, so you can get a better deal. Like I just thrifted a Vince blazer, and around here people are like, what's Vince? And it was $5. This blazer retails for $425. I had it in my store less than a week and it sold for $60. I got it for $5. It was on clearance in the consignment store in my town because nobody knows of Vince's around here. So even if you live in a small town, there are people that are buying designer things that are either donating them or consigning them. You can find some really nice things. So okay, this little bag that I've got, I saw it and I thought that is just interesting enough. I really think I want to pick this up. The detail on the top here is so pretty. And you open it up and it's got this pale pink and cream color stripe. There's no staining whatsoever. It has this this little pull here, led me to believe maybe 50s or 60s, and it says Roger Van S there, Roger Van S. And I thought that, you know, for $1, I think I'm gonna chance it. These are all over eBay for anywhere from $65 to $100. I can't find this exact style, but this Roger Van S, apparently a pretty well-known retro vintage designer, 50s and 60s. So I'm happy that I picked this up. Again, it was $1. I haven't even taken the tags off of this one yet. Okay, I found this guy. There was plush galore yesterday, and he had some brown marks all over here. He had some brown marks over here. And I took a magic eraser to him. You might not think of using a magic eraser on soft good items like a plush, but I'm telling you, like I wet the thing, I just scrub it a little bit and it just comes right off. So this, I was looking up comps last night and I drafted him as an 18-inch, and I thought that just doesn't sound right. And sure enough, I look on the tag and he's 28 inches. So I'm thinking I'd probably get at least $30 out of him. He was $3 at Goodwill yesterday. And there's one spot that I need to sew up. You can see here, I'm gonna have to pinch this together and just take a needle and thread to it, and I'll be able to sew him right up. And I did note on the listing that there's a seam under his tail that has been repaired. So as long as you note things like that, I really see no problem with being able to just fix the item and sell it. But knowing your way around a needle and thread is definitely good in your reseller life. So this was actually Snow White's horse. This is a Disney store item. See, he's got like a saddle that's reminiscent of Snow White's dress. So again, he was $3, probably because he had a hole and because he had a little bit of staining on him. I bought this week. It's so funny, at a local thrift store. Chuck Norris likes his meat so rare he only eats unicorns. There are a few folks selling these brand new on eBay for around $16 with shipping included. So I listed him a bit less than that. It's used, it's unbranded, but it was just too funny not to get this. This was $2. I went to an estate sale this week, which we haven't had a lot of them recently, estate sales or yard sales, because the weather hasn't really allowed it, but it is turning nice here. And I went into this estate sale and they had a couple closets opened, and they said that clothes were $2 unless they were marked, and everything was 20% off. So it was $1.60 for clothing, and I was finding nothing. But everything I found in there that was pre-1995, I bought it, let me tell you. I thought there would be a lot of vintage clothing in there because it was an older couple's home, but there really weren't. But the pieces I found, I am so excited about. The first piece, I got these Calvin Klein like mom jeans. I don't know the size. The size is not in here. It's cut out. So I think I'm just going to advertise them like 28 by 32 or whatever the sizes end up being. If these would fit me, I'd probably try them on. But there's a little bit of a taper leg. They're worn at the cuff. But if I can get somewhere around $20 for these, hopefully they cost me $1.60. Polo, vintage polo is so big right now. The tag again was cut out of this, so I don't know why these people cut the tags out of their clothes. There's no tag in this, but spell out polo with a little polo player. Isn't that so great? This was $1.60, so I think I'm gonna run this one as an auction because I see some polo going for big money. And I don't do international shipping, but I'm tempted to on that because I see like Japanese buyers buying a lot of vintage polo. And I think that's probably like a women's medium. This, I could not pull up comps on this. I have since found a lot of comps and I'm so excited about this. This is vintage Fox Racing. I'm thinking this is not 90s. I think that this is 80s, but if you are more familiar with Fox Racing, maybe you could shed some light on it. It has a padded elbow on each side, the back of it. This could not be in better condition unless it still had the tags on it. This is so bright. There are two of these listed on eBay right now for $100 and like $180, and they are faded. They have holes in them. They have staining on them. This again could not be in better condition. I bought this for $1.60. I think I'm starting that out at like $168. I buy it now on my store. And this, I cannot find another one of these on eBay. Again, vintage Fox Racing windbreaker. This is men's small, I would say. I can't find sizing on it, so I don't know. I'm going to obviously note the measurements that I find. This again I got a little dust on it, couldn't be in better condition unless it still had the tags on it. This is as vibrant as can be, little Fox Racing logo there. Guys, I'm auctioning this one since you can't find anything like it. I mean, there are so few, even listed on Poshmark, Etsy, anything, so few vintage Fox windbreakers, and they are usually around $180, $200. I'm going to auction that starting at $180, and we'll just see what happens. I'm not afraid to relist it if it doesn't move, but hopefully it might get bid up. If you don't look when you're thrifting in the bed sheets and curtains and towels and things like that, you may be leaving money behind. I got some pillowcases recently that are like vintage Barney, and there was another like a vintage Disney something that I found. But I found this, and I had all hopes that this was vintage. The Super Mario beach towel. You might not think of beach towels when you think of vintage items or gamer related items, certainly, but this is not vintage. Sorry to say, I researched it and found it on Kmart's website from 2013. Still like $8. Not the money I was hoping for, because the vintage ones from like 89, 91, they can go for $80. Look up vintage Super Mario beach towel and you will be so shocked. So don't leave that type of money on the table. Oh, I found another pair of shoes that I forgot that I bought. Okay, these are Maurice's straw. They are practically brand new condition, but I am noting them as used just because it looks like somebody has worn them. You can see on the bottom here. So this is what my Goodwills are doing around here. This has a B for blue, and so all the shoes are $3.50. And then when blue goes on sale, they're obviously going to be on sale for what, like $1.75. So these are beautiful to pay $3.50 for these. And let's see, actually I think that's the last thing that I'm hauling for you today. I'm gonna go take pictures of all this stuff and put it up, and there are some items in here I'm so excited to get listed, especially the Fox Racing gear. I'll try to update you guys in a future video about how those items did, but in the meantime, let me know what you're sourcing that's maybe way outside of the box. I just can't go out and source trendy tops nonstop because that's boring to take pictures of, it's boring to ship, and nobody cares. I'm interested in trying to find some vintage items or some things that to save them from the trash can, old antique items or more rare items, or if they're in really good condition, some fun fashion. So tell me what you're thrifting lately, what you're reselling, and how you're diversifying your store. Love you guys. God bless.